Bitcoin is still trading well above $23,000. Ethereum is also trading just below $600. So Bitcoin and Ethereum are performing quite well, but a lot of the other top altcoins are not doing too well. It is Christmas Eve as I'm making this video, and it is a little bit bloody today for the altcoins. So let's take a deeper dive into all of this. And before we get started, a very important message. Make sure that you guys take some time off during the holidays. You can look at the charts every single day of the year, but the holidays only come once a year. And after I post this video, I'm gonna go spend some time with family. Probably not gonna be looking at the charts too much, but if Bitcoin does break out into a new all-time high on Christmas, you'll probably see me making some tweets. What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Kevin Svenson, and today we're going to be talking about the price of Bitcoin and why the altcoins are performing so badly right now. So starting off with the price of Bitcoin, this is the daily chart, and we're looking at the daily chart from 9,800 until where we are now. This is from September until where we are now, and we can see that Bitcoin is performing extremely well. We got a breakout above 20K, and what we can see is that even recently we've been seeing higher lows on the daily, seeing a lot of demand for Bitcoin. Bitcoin does continue to get bought up even here at the $23,000 level. And here on the 4-hour chart, if you look at the volume on Coinbase, we can see that the average volume is actually increasing now that we've broken the all-time high. Of course, when you break an all-time high level, there's a lot of emotions involved with that. There's a lot of hype involved with that. And it's not really a surprise that we're seeing an increase in volume here. Bitcoin is now officially going through price discovery. And all of this activity is perfectly playing into Bitcoin's long-term narrative. On this channel, we've looked at this chart many times over the past couple weeks. And as you guys know, I think that Bitcoin is poised to see major gains over the next year, possibly going to as high as $100 to as high as $250,000 during this bull run within the next year potentially. And as of right now, this current market cycle is a spitting image almost of the previous market cycle. Bitcoin is perfectly on track right now. And I have no doubts that Bitcoin is going to be extremely bullish going into the next year. And the question that's on a lot of people's minds right now is that if Bitcoin is breaking the all-time high, and there's a lot of hype and interest and a lot of confidence in Bitcoin, and the long-term narrative is, perfectly on track, why is it that all of these altcoins are doing so badly? Well, first of all, the recent XRP news, the SEC lawsuit that we saw, that's of course one of the catalysts that caused the recent dump in the altcoins. The SEC charges Ripple and two executives with conducting $1.3 billion in unregistered security offerings. And this is detrimental to XRP. And this should be taken as a big lesson for everybody. The SEC went right after Ripple. And why is that? They're a centralized company with faces to go after, right? So there's people, there's faces to go after. You can't take Bitcoin to court. Nobody would show up. Nobody actually owns or runs Bitcoin. It's owned by everybody. So be careful about centralized cryptos, right? Yes, the XRP ledger technically is not centralized, but the supply is centrally owned and controlled, and the success of the XRP token is dependent on Ripple. So that was, of course, the catalyst for the recent dump. XRP now getting completely demolished here, coming back below 30 cents, losing all of its gains since earlier this year, which is really a tragedy for XRP holders. But other than this short-term news, the SEC FUD and XRP dumping causing a little bit of uncertainty across the board for the altcoins, the next reason is a little bit more interesting. So first of all, let's take a look at the Bitcoin dominance chart. And what we can see is that comparing the previous all-time high break in 2017 with the current all-time high break, we can see that the behavior is much different. When Bitcoin broke $1,200 and started hitting new all-time highs and going into price discovery, as we are right now, back here in 2017, the Bitcoin dominance chart was actually rapidly declining. Bitcoin dominance rapidly fell throughout the year of 2017 as we broke out into new all-time highs. And if you're looking at what's happening now, as we're breaking out into new all-time highs, Bitcoin dominance is actually coming back up to the August high levels. Bitcoin dominance is actually looking very, very strong here. And so once again, why is it that things are behaving differently? Why is Bitcoin doing so well while the altcoins are suffering a little bit here? The answer may actually lie in this recent Michael Saylor interview on CNBC, where he's discussing his recent Bitcoin position. As you guys know, Michael Saylor from the company MicroStrategy bought over $1 billion worth of Bitcoin recently, and he says something in this interview that may actually explain why the altcoins are not performing that well right now. Let's take a listen.
And since March, we've had Paul Tudor Jones and Stanley Druckenmiller, and we've had Bill Miller, and we've had Rick Reeder, and we've had Guggenheim, and we've had Skybridge, we've had MicroStrategy, we've had Square. We've got an avalanche of billion-dollar entities coming into this space, and they're not here to speculate on leverage with an uncorrelated asset. They're here because they want the world's best safe haven investment grade treasury reserve asset. So as the institutions buy Bitcoin, its volatility changes and the characteristics of the asset class are maturing.
So as you heard here, Michael Saylor is basically saying that the characteristics of Bitcoin and the cryptocurrency asset class are maturing. So all in all, Bitcoin seems to be the one, the asset that all the institutions and all the big money are going after right now. They're not here to speculate on leverage or, buy random altcoins, right? They're here to buy the one and only Bitcoin as a hedge against inflation. They want protection from the devaluation of fiat currencies. And a lot of these altcoin projects are not providing the same thing as Bitcoin. And what we know about 2017 is that a lot of these altcoins that were doing really well in 2017 were fueled almost purely by hype and ignorance. There were so many coins with no value whatsoever that were seeing thousands of % returns. So there's a huge difference here between 2017 and currently 2020. Things have matured heavily since 2017. People understand this market a little bit better. And Bitcoin is, of course, the most trusted, the most well adopted, the most secure network of all. It's the most understood cryptocurrency, and that is why Bitcoin is gaining dominance right now. The market has matured, and the behavior of crypto is beginning to change. Does this mean that there will never be an alt season ever again? No. Of course, there will be an alt season at some point. There definitely will be an alt season at some point, guys. But the main point here is that past performance for altcoins, the way that the market behaved before in 2017, the last bull run, is not necessarily a good way to analyze it here. You can't just do fractal analysis on everything. Sometimes things change. So the question is, when can we expect an alt season? When will this happen? Well, I think it's quite possible that Bitcoin dominance may continue to increase. Bitcoin dominance hit resistance at 60, it hit resistance at 70. Maybe we see Bitcoin dominance come up to 80, right? Maybe we go all the way up to 80. And at that point, if we do get resistance there, that could be a few months into 2020 as that's happening. And the alt season may come later, a few months into 2020, possibly. Of course, this is all just speculation, but if something like that was going to take place, very likely what would happen is Bitcoin would probably trend up towards the 30K level. And once we started to get some more consolidation around 30K, maybe alt season takes place at the next major consolidation, guys. I'm talking like weeks, like a month of sideways. That's when the next alt season may happen. Like weeks of just going sideways. I think that's what we need to be looking for here. Bitcoin is just going up week after week right now, but once we spend like a month going sideways, that's when you may expect money to flow into the altcoins. And then after that alt season, possibly looking to pull back towards the 21-week EMA. And then it's time for Bitcoin to shine once again after we test the 21-week EMA and look to rally once again. Now, it's not guaranteed that Bitcoin's going to behave this way. The characteristics of the market, as Michael Saylor said, are beginning to change, so we'll see. But in my opinion, the next alt season will very likely take place at the next multi-week sideways consolidation, possibly a month of sideways, guys, right? So that's what we got to be looking out for the altcoins. But one thing that I want you guys to remember is that, having Bitcoin exposure, having majority Bitcoin exposure, majority Bitcoin. A lot of people don't take seriously the notion that you got to have majority Bitcoin exposure. A lot of people sort of ignore it, thinking that their altcoins are going to do way better. Well, guys, right now that's just not the case. Right now, altcoins are not doing so good, and Bitcoin is gaining tons of dominance here. So you always got to have majority exposure to Bitcoin. Of course, this is not financial advice, but it is pretty good advice. And something I said on my Twitter feed today, because a lot of people are freaking out about altcoins. In this tweet today, I said, my Twitter feed has gone crazy once again. Everybody's freaking out about the altcoin winter. Number one, always make sure you have majority exposure to Bitcoin and or Ethereum, mostly Bitcoin. Altcoins are for play money. Two, you guys got to relax, get away from the charts and enjoy the holidays. Number three, you'll be fine. Guys, we know that everything recovers at some point. As long as you're invested in projects that are good projects, then I think you'll be fine. And I'm sure a lot of people are going to ask in the comment section right now, they're going to say, Kev, does this change your mind about altcoins? Is Chainlink not going to do well anymore? Well, I think it's going to do well. I mean, yesterday we saw a heinous, crazy pullback. We hit like $8.73 here on Coinbase, like $8 on Binance. Crazy pullback for the altcoins in general. I think, again, largely due to the XRP FUD and the SEC coming after altcoins and stuff. You know, that news definitely does cause a little bit of uncertainty, a little bit of fear, some FUD, right? But I think ultimately the altcoins are going to be okay. I think that Chainlink is going to do well in the long term. Things may end up being a little bit different this cycle, and this may be a cycle that is hyper-focused on Bitcoin, right? Make sure you guys have Bitcoin exposure because this cycle might be hyper-focused on Bitcoin. That is where the money is going. Follow the money. The money is going into Bitcoin. Have exposure to Bitcoin. But that's gonna be it for me today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. Happy holidays. Step away from the charts, guys. Enjoy time with family and friends. Relax a little bit. You can look at the charts any other day, but today only comes once a year. I'll see you guys in the next video.